welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I am here with Coach JC and Coach Caden. And today we are talking about how to stay fit on vacation, which is I don't know. We'll just break it down for you, I guess. It's an interesting topic. It's not that difficult. So we're going to try to talk about this for at least 15 minutes, but it's just like, don't eat like a jerk and maybe move your body a little bit, but we'll get into details a little bit more than that. But before we get into today's episode, we want to give a shout out to a client of the week. And this week's client is Marty Tinteri. So Caden, this was, you said, let's go with Marty. JC's like, let's go with Marty. Is just a team consensus. I can't talk today. Wow. Okay. Cut. Let's start over. Why Marty?
So I just want to say Marty's been coming in. He works hard every single day. He comes up to me and he goes, check out this forearm today. He goes, they're turning into Popeye forearms. Starting to build a little bit of muscle on there. I'm going to say he's pushing his cardio every day, getting better there. And he comes in smiling and ready to go every day. And I got a lot of respect for that guy.
He started at 2 times a week and then went to 3 times a week.
4.
And now he's up to 4 times a week, which is pretty awesome. And he just has like the best attitude. We've got some clients that just have amazing attitudes, but he is one of those guys that just like, every time you talk to him, his excitement to just for life, first of all, and then to be here, like getting better, like bettering himself, taking care of himself and improving it's just like such good energy. And I love every time I see him pull into the parking lot, I'm like, here comes Marty, it just puts a smile on my face before I even say anything to him, so shout out to Marty. Okay. With staying fit on vacation, we've done this on previous episodes, but our members travel so frequently, either for work or for fun. And it's always an issue of them being able to stay on track and not just blow it while they're gone. So we thought, hey, let's redo this episode, and maybe give people just a refresher on it, but bring in some new ideas and tips. So, Caden, like, what would you say is, I guess, how do you stay fit on vacation? How do you personally stay fit on vacation?
So personally, if I'm going on vacation, I try to pick a spot that I know is going to have a gym. And I know a lot of hotels and places like that are not going to necessarily be a full set gym, but as long as they got a few weights in there, I'm going to make it happen with whatever I have. And then the second option, whenever I do go traveling, I would recommend downloading an app called the All Trails app. So it's going to break down all the hiking trails in the area for you. Let's say you only got 30 minutes. It's going to tell you mileage, roughly how long the hike's going to take, the difficulty of the hike. So you can kind of fit that into what your vacation schedule's kind of looking like there.
That's really that's a great tip because they might have a gym, right? You might be going somewhere, but they have earth, right? Like there's something that you can do. You can get outside and you can hike or run or whatever, and be active outdoors. And like an All Trails app, that's smart. Is the app free? Do you know?
There's a free version,
okay,
and then I believe there's an upgraded version that you can pay for as well. But like personally, I just use the free
so
version.
Free tool. You just look up where you're going. You got all the trails, distances, time it's going to take to complete them, and you're set.
And you're set to go.
Sweet. Piece of cake. JC, what about you? What do you like? I don't know if you ever go on vacation ever.
Not
JC
often.
just works, man. That's what she does. But if you're traveling or just anything that's outside of the normal routine, right? Like, what are you doing to stay on track?
I think vacation, people struggle the most with is like diets. They just
Nutrition.
They don't know where to go, or they're like always in a hurry and they're going from like place to place to place. So they just like, oh, like here's a McDonald's. Like I'm just gonna eat a burger for dinner. So just like
the Big Mac.
Just thinking like if you're like at an Airbnb or something, if you have like access to like
a kitchen,
microwave, like if you can cook something, like find a grocery store that's like near wherever you're staying and just try to cook a few homemade meals wherever you are instead of just going out for each meal. And then if that's a little unrealistic, if you're like in a hotel room or something, just try and pick something that like is not super fried or super greasy. Something like a Chipotle, or what are like other places?
Salad and go.
Yeah, salad and go.
Salad and go. But even if you're going out to eat, right? Like you can still make smarter choices.
Yeah.
But like with me for vacation, I'm like, I'm going to be good with my breakfast and my lunch. Like I'm going to be healthy with my breakfast and my lunch, and I'm not going to do anything outside of the ordinary of how I would normally, like outside of my routine, until like 3:00 in the afternoon. And then when I hit that point, I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever, I'm on vacation. And so I'll drink and I'll, have something that I wouldn't necessarily normally have for dinner. But I don't worry about it. That's kind of my strategy, is like, hey, I'm just going to front end load my day with all healthy stuff, but I'm going to let that last portion of the day, I'm on vacation, I'm just going to enjoy it, right? So I don't have to think about it too much. But that's my strategy. But even so, like after 3 days of having maybe dinners that aren't the best, I'm over it. Like I can't, I'm not gonna eat anything that's garbage, right? I'm like I feel it quickly and I don't feel good. And you want to feel good when you're on vacation. I think that's kind of a key thing for people to remember, is like if you're moving, whether you're going to the gym every morning or using all trails and finding hikes and walks, or if you're at the beach and you're playing in the ocean, whatever, you're active, like that's good. You're going to feel good from doing that. And then like you said, JC, just having some home cooked meals, like going to the grocery store, putting it in the fridge, or being smart about being in a hotel and like what places you're going to choose to eat. At least control like a big portion of your day so that you're not overdoing it, and then you don't feel bad for your vacation. Yeah. Like the healthier you are and the worse you eat, the worse you feel. Like you feel it pretty quickly, right? So what else, Caden? What other tips?
I guess I would say, and I know this one's a little bit tough, but I'm going to say trying to keep your sleep schedule fairly consistent with what you're already kind of on a routine with. Because as soon as, if let's say you're someone that wakes up at 6 a.m. to get into the office by 7:30, I'm going to say if you start to sleep in till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you're going to wake up and you're going to feel the fatigue hit. I'm going to say over those next few days, just sleeping in. So I'm going to say the more consistent you can be with your sleep schedule, I'm going to say you're going to feel better day over day, and then getting back into your routine once you come back, I'm going to say it's going to be that much easier for you as well.
That one's got to be tough. I think, I don't know. I'm pretty much like fall asleep at like 9:30 anyway, like 9:30. I'm on the couch. Right. So even on vacation, it's like I'm toast by that point. But I think for a lot of people, it's like they are maybe with family or games or going. Yeah, right. Like they're spending time with family. So they're staying up late. I don't.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I know that one's kind of a tough one. I'm going to say to kind of stay strict to per se. But I'm going to say if let's say you're on a 5-day vacation, if 3 of those days can be decent, and then the other 2 you get a little off schedule, I'm going to say that'll be all right.
Just know what the consequences are.
Be prepared for it. Like how would you counter that though, JC? Like if you did stay up late and you're like, hey, I'm out of my routine now. Would you still try to wake up at the same time, or would you try to sleep in and catch up on sleep? Like what's the best strategy for people?
I feel like getting up at the same time.
And just maybe like taking a little cat nap in the middle of the day. Siesta.
That's what I would agree with that.
Who doesn't want to take a nap when they're on vacation?
Some of the best naps ever.
I would probably take a nap even if I went to bed at the same time. So you're saying like best strategy is go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time. If you're not going to bed at the same time, at least wake up at the same time, work out, probably get the blood flowing, and then maybe like try to get back on track as quickly as possible. Yeah. Vacation's hard, huh? It's hard work. Somebody's got to do it though.
Right.
For those listening, JC's rolling her eyes at me, but I mean, you think about it, like you're your diet is changing, your sleep schedule is changing, you're in a different environment where maybe you do have access to a gym or don't have access to a gym. Maybe it's not as good of a gym that you normally go to, right? Especially with our clients. There's all of these different elements that can really just like wreck somebody's routine. How does somebody get back on track after? Like, let's say they go on vacation, they eat poorly, they don't work out, and they're gone for a week, and they've done that for a week. Like, what's the strategy for them getting restarted?
So I'm going to say strategy coming back from a vacation. Day one, you're definitely want to make sure that you're rehydrating yourself. So I'm going to say drinking, as much water as you can on that first day back, I feel like is going to be something huge. I feel like that's just something people struggle with day to day on just their normal routine. But then once it comes down to vacation, I'm guessing water just gets thrown out the window. And then getting back into the gym.
Is White Claw count as water?
Pretty much. No, just kidding. And then I would say getting back into your gym routine as quickly as possible is going to be the best course of action, but don't necessarily just go back and hit it 110% on that first couple of days back.
Like ease back into it a little bit, but start right away.
Yes.
I think that's one of the challenges that people have is like they go on vacation and then they need a vacation from their vacation and they're like, oh, I got to get caught up, right? I got to get caught up and I have to, I'm kind of fatigued, probably because they didn't eat well, they didn't drink enough, they didn't sleep well. And so their time off away from their normal routine is not just like the 7 days that they were gone. It's like 14, 15 days because they now are playing catch up at work and they miss a couple extra workouts. They don't work out as hard. So now it's just like we're really setting ourselves back several weeks just from like a week-long vacation if you just like let it all go.
Yep.
Right? That's one of the reasons why we try to get our members to train on Zoom while they're traveling, right? Is because it's like you're on vacation, the accountability is probably kind of flying out the window. At the very least, even if you aren't good with your diet, you're still like have a set time of the day that you're working out and somebody's expecting you, you have an appointment and the accountability piece is there. And I feel like the members that we have that do that, they always do way, way better. Whether they're traveling for work or for vacation, it just like keeps them on track. And some people's lifestyles involve constant travel for work and they're just gone all the time. And so it's like achieving results is not going to happen just from like intermittent working out. It has to be consistent. And so you can't say like, oh, I'll work out while I'm in town if you're traveling all the time. It has to be built into your schedule. Right. And this was like the only time that I ever suggest anybody have like, sorry, Orange Theory, but you're just a room full of treadmills with a theory. But like, it's the only time I ever suggest somebody has like an Orange Theory type of membership or like a franchise type of membership where if they're traveling constantly and they're not like, they don't have access to their normal facility. It's like, those are all over the place and you can go jump into a class anywhere, get a decent workout, like a decent sweat on. It's better than nothing. And then you're like right back to your routine when you get back. So you don't miss too much. It doesn't throw you off too much. All right. What else? You guys have anything else for anybody? I've got one other thing. Take your supplements while you're on vacation or while you're traveling. Like don't just have a gap. Like your body still probably needs that nutrients more, those vitamins and those minerals more while you're on vacation than in your normal life. So don't take a vacation from your supplement routine. If you're traveling, like make sure those go with you. You're still taking your multivitamin, you're still doing protein powder, right? Or your aminos. Like don't stop doing that just because you're on vacation. Those are like the easiest things to do. It's a no-brainer. It's like, oh, I take a couple pills in the morning, I mix my aminos in my water, I drink it down. And so you're kind of helping combat the fact that you're just completely out of whack with your normal routine and diet and sleep and all of that. So, all right, guys, that's it. I think it's not that difficult. It's like, eat halfway decent, work out, move your body a little bit while you're on vacation. And then as soon as you're back, like, get back to it. Don't play that catch up game and extend your time off for any longer than it absolutely has to be. So, all right, that's all we got. We'll be back next week with more great stuff. Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.